Okay.
All right, we are live. Hey, y'all. My name is social media co-chair. My co-Erin could not be here tonight, so we're gonna do it with just me. I am a first year in the program, and I'm the Bridge to Clemson resident director. So what we're gonna do in this chat is we're just really gonna talk about the CU-GARS process, what to expect, answer any questions. So what I'm going to do now is we're just going to let the grads that are on this chat introduce themselves, and we'll just go down the line. So Stacy, can you kick it off?
Hi, my name is Stacy Wolf. My grad assistant is in the Bridge to Clemson program in academic advising and support, and my undergrad was done at Virginia Tech. I don't know if you want us to add anything else.
Whatever you feel like you need to add.
Well, that's about me.
All right. Michael?
Hi, friends. My name is Michael Wallace, and I am from Cookeville, Tennessee. I did my undergrad at East Tennessee State University, where I majored in communication studies, and now I am a grad at Clemson University, and my assistantship is in new student and family programs. So I primarily work with the orientation leaders.
All right, Suzanne and Jordan.
Hey, I'm Suzanne Jasmine. I'm a second year in the program. I completed my undergrad at UNC Chapel Hill, and I'm from Concord, North Carolina originally, and I have a graduate assistantship in academic advising.
And I'm Jordan Peterson. I grew up in Chicago, but did my undergraduate work at the College of William & Mary, and then worked for a couple of years in admissions before coming back to school. And my assistantship here at Clemson is in housing, but I do all of their training and development, so a little bit of a non-traditional housing role.
And last but not least, Haley.
Hi everyone, my name is Haley. I am from Tampa, Florida. I did my undergrad at the University of South Florida, and my assistantship is in Healthy Campus, and I primarily work with alcohol and other drug initiatives. That's me.
Who is on the chat tonight? So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through, answer some questions that we've already in, and then also if you have any questions for us, you can tweet at us at CU-GARS. And basically, what do you wear and what do you pack at GARS? So, Suzanne, can you stop on that question?
Sure. So for GARS, you're going to be here from Thursday evening until Saturday morning. So you'll need to pack a range of clothes in terms of more casual clothes for our social events, and then business casual to business professional for interviewing. So make sure to just pack a lot of options. Thursday, I would come prepared to, like, with clothes, either wearing clothes or with clothes with you to change into for the opening dinner, which is business casual. You may not have time to go to your host's apartment and change before the Thursday night dinner, so just be prepared to and kind of ready to go when you land on Thursday. You can then change into more casual clothes for the social afterward if there's time. Friday you'll be interviewing, so definitely business professional. And then we'll have a Friday night social, which you can wear casual. And then on Saturday we'll have a closing brunch, which is more on business casual side of things. I would also just think about those little things that you might need to bring, such as a portfolio for interviewing, bring a watch. Bring comfortable shoes. Clemson's a hilly campus, and you might have to be walking around some, so just whatever shoes are most comfortable for you to walk in. And I'll let Michael and Jordan add to that.
The only other thing that I would add to Suzanne is definitely check the weather before you get here. I was lucky. I was traveling from Ohio when I came for the interview weekend, so I had my winter coat with me, mostly by luck of it was cold in Ohio when I left, but it was pretty cold when I was here this last February. So definitely check the weather if you can, or bring light layers. I know if you're from a warmer area and don't expect it to be cold, that can definitely be a challenge. So maybe bring things that you could wear a sweater or a sweatshirt under if you don't have that. And then if you are with someone who's on campus, or even if your host is off campus but you might have to walk to their car, definitely make sure all your belongings are easy to carry. We're going to try to help you out as best we can, but sometimes you have to walk to a parking spot, and if you have too much stuff, it can get a little hard.
Michael, can you also give us your perspective?
Yeah, just to add on that for all of the guys watching out there, I would follow suit and wear business casual on Thursday night, like a button-up, pants, maybe a sweater, and then Friday is really game time because it's interviews, so you're going to want to come in professional attire, business attire, you know, a suit, a blazer, a tie, a bow tie, but also do what you can with what you have. If you don't already own a suit, we're not expecting you to go out and buy a brand new suit just for the interview. You know, use your resources, borrow clothes from friends if you need to, what have you. So just dress the best you can for Friday. You definitely want to look sharp for the interview. And then Saturday is very casual. So that is kind of the closing brunch, but there's going to be a very casual feel to it. So just look presentable, look nice, however you might interpret that.
Great, thank all of you. So our next question is essentially how many interviews are you supposed to expect, and kind of how are interviews set up? So Suzanne, can you answer that for me?
Sure. So the way that the interview process will work is you will be able to rank the assistantships that you would like to interview for, and employers can also rank which candidates they want to interview. So it's a bit of a matching process. And the one thing that you can for sure expect is that not everyone is going to have the same number of interviews, and that's okay. From year to year, it varies depending on how many candidates come and how many positions we have available and that they're interviewing. So you could expect anywhere from, I would say, a minimum 2 to 3 up to 5 or 6 interviews. In past years, they've had an option for you to add on interviews at the opening dinner on Thursday if interviewers still have spots available, or if new assistantships get added between now and GARS. So just keep that in mind. If they do that again this year, be prepared. If you want to add on more interviews, you can, but there's absolutely no pressure to. We will create that interview schedule for you ahead of time so that you'll have positions to interview for.
Right. Thank you, Suzanne. The next question is about the hosting and the FOSting process. So what role do they play? What exactly are they? Haley, can you speak on that for me?
Yeah, sure. So a host is someone that you'll be matched up with, and you'll be staying with them. They'll be kind of guiding you through the process throughout the weekend that you're here. The difference between a host and a FOS is if you say you go to Clemson and you're just interviewing here, or you're staying in a hotel, or you're just not staying with an actual grad student, then this is just still someone who will serve like as your mentor. And so I know for me, I had a really great host, Jesse. He was awesome, but I know that I used him definitely as someone, as a mentor. So I asked him a lot of questions that I may not have the opportunity to ask other grad students throughout the weekend. So I definitely asked him a lot of questions and just really used him as a resource to be comfortable while I was there. But yeah.
Great, thank you. Michael, can you maybe touch on that as well?
Yeah, so a host is really a guide. They're going to be the point of contact for you, basically prior communication to your arrival, tell you everything you need to know, answer any questions or concerns you might have. And the difference between a host and a FOST, basically a FOST, you don't end up going home with them at night. And that sounds a lot like dating, but it's not that weird, I promise you.
Great, thank you, Michael. And so one thing that we really wanted to touch on as a Google chat is the social expectations, more specifically the night at Backstreets. So Stacy, can you touch on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So there will be 2 socials, one on Thursday night and one on Friday night. And the one on Friday night is at a local bar and restaurant that we all go and just relax and debrief from the weekend. It's totally optional. You do not have to attend. If you want to attend and you feel like relaxing, it's not a test. I know I asked my host last year, Erin Hobling, who's also with Jess, I was like, is this a test? Are they testing us? No, this is an opportunity for you to relax and enjoy from the stressful interview days and kind of get to know the grads and what the grads do on a weekend level. Maybe not every weekend, but kind of just a way for them to debrief and get time away out of the office.
Suzanne, can you touch on that as well?
Yes, so I think I am the second year perspective on socials, but I really want to echo what Stacy said, and that it's not a test. This is meant to be a casual hangout with the current grads. I know in past years candidates have sometimes felt awkward because you may be interviewing with a second year grad student that day for an assistantship position that they currently hold, and then you're going to socialize with them that night. We're not judging you. It's a judgment-free zone. It's not part of the interview by any stretch of the imagination. And so you don't feel like you need to, please don't keep your professional front on, because it is the opportunity for you to socialize and for you to see if you will, fit in here in Clemson, not only professionally and academically, but also just as a person. So don't feel like you're still interviewing with the second year grad or anything like that. It's time to let go and have fun. And it is at a bar. So we're not, we intentionally put it at a bar. And so you can have fun.
Oh, and I was just going to add, from someone who doesn't always like to drink or doesn't always like to go out late at night, token loser, it's okay, that it's I went last year and I got some seltzer water and just really enjoyed hanging out with the people there. There's food that I know they've gotten in years past to have some fun bar appetizers. So it's definitely just an opportunity to hang out. We pick Backstreets because it's an opportunity to see a place that a lot of the grad students go. When you visit Clemson, you'll see the downtown area, and it's kind of clear where some grad student hangouts are versus some undergraduate student hangouts are, and the grad student government hosts events there. So it's kind of a fun spot to get to see. So it's definitely not meant to, be only for one type of social event. It's definitely an opportunity to get a taste of what we like to do, and there's people who have like to socialize differently coming to all of them.
Great, thank y'all. Michael, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, sure. I think the socials are an opportunity to branch out, get to know people, kind of unwind. I think resonating with what Jordan said, if you don't want to go out, don't think that you have to. You can, chill, stay indoors, do whatever you want. This is really your time, and so take it however you wish. If you do want to go to the bar with everyone and have a drink, then do so. You deserve a beer after a long day. Interviews can get stressful, so definitely unwind and do that if you want to. You all have been through the undergrad experience, so you should know your limits by now. So just be casual but professional about that if you decide to do that.
Great, thank you. So, as you know, being in this program, you're required to have an assistantship that you obtain through the GARS process. So what do you do if you don't get an assistantship through the GARS process? Jordan, can you touch on that for us?
Definitely. I know, as someone who identifies as pretty type A and likes to follow a schedule, it was a little bit challenging to not get a phone call the Monday right after GARS. So a little stemming off of the rest of the interview question that we talked about before, interviews are an opportunity to meet with the supervisor and potentially another grad or two supervisors at a table. Note, you will be in a big ballroom with a lot of other candidates, so just wanted to add that piece. But then afterwards, they use kind of a matching system, so if for some reason you're not matched right away, do not worry about it. I had an interview, probably 4 weeks after GARS, so I was kind of worried about what would happen after I left, and I didn't hear a call, and then a couple days went by and I still hadn't gotten a call, but I got really I I was patient, and I remembered what everyone at GARS had told me, all the other grads and all the professional staff, that you just have to be patient, and if it's the right fit, it'll work out. So I had a Skype interview for a position that just didn't have any spaces available. They only had one table of interviews, and they just filled all their slots right away. So they offered me an opportunity to do a Skype interview. And within about a week or two after that, I heard, and I was excited to accept that offer. So I was working through the GARS process and thinking of Clemson and assistantships probably into mid-March, maybe even almost the beginning of April. If y'all are looking at other programs, you probably have heard that April 15th deadline. And if you haven't, all schools, most of our programs for student affairs honor an April 15th deadline, so that's when people have to make their decision. It's a pretty consistent deadline, so that's kind of where I was using that as a ballpark, but it's definitely not something to worry about. We want all of our spots filled, and we want them filled by the right candidates, so hang in there and look out for invitations for additional interviews.
Yeah, and I think that, so I was in the same boat as Jordan. I actually didn't get an assistantship until the first week in April. And I think that one of the things is to be open-minded to potential opportunities that you didn't have coming into GARS. So the assistantship I have right now was something I didn't even interview for, so just making sure that you're staying open-minded throughout the entire process, and that if something comes along, just at least interview for it. If it's something that you're not interested in, that's fine as well. But just keeping an open mind. And yeah, so one part of the weekend is the ability to meet faculty. So Stacy, can you talk a little bit about that for us?
Yeah, so last year at GARS, I actually did not go and introduce myself to the faculty, which was one of the biggest regrets I had. I know a lot of the candidates had that opportunity, and I did. I was just scared. So what I recommend is don't be scared. There's some really awesome people. Not sure if they're going to watch this or not, but I'm not sugarcoating it. They're really awesome, and I would definitely take the opportunity. They're really approachable. They just want to get to know you, especially if you might be sitting in their classroom in the next couple months. And so that's a way to start that relationship building with our faculty ahead of time before you even get into the classroom, which is a really great opportunity.
Great, thank you. Haley, can you also touch on that for us?
Yeah, so during GARS last year, I actually went and I went to like the faculty session. They just had like this mini session where we could go and ask them any questions. And so I actually did go to that session, and I was really intimidated, but I did ask some questions to them, and I'm glad that I did go and I did ask those questions, because I know that one of my favorite parts of this program is the faculty and how personal they are. And I mean, I think it's important to be able to at least meet them, and because they will be the ones that will be, you know, in your classes with you, and well, you know, academics is a part of this, and so being able to make sure that, you know, you do get the opportunity to meet them, I think is important. But definitely I know that it's intimidating, but I definitely would challenge everyone to, you know, try to step out of your comfort zone and go and talk to them. But you know, and even if it's not meeting them one-on-one, if that's not an opportunity, just maybe going and if I'm not actually sure if they're having like a session like they had last year, but I know that's really something that stays with me till this day, that stood out to me when I did go to GARS.
Great, thank you. Jordan, did you have something to add to that?
Oh, yeah, that's me. But you're fine. So something that I didn't think about during GARS or before GARS was the faculty, and when I got here I realized that our faculty are outstanding in the field as well, so be sure to ask them what they're involved in and things like that, and because they are very well connected in the field. They've done a lot with professional organizations, they've been editors of journals and things like that, and I am really fortunate that I landed in a program where faculty were so well known and well connected, and I do consider that happenstance, and it shouldn't have been. Like, I should have been doing that research ahead of time to know that I was going to be in a program with phenomenal faculty, because that helps you immensely throughout the program, and then also when you're going to graduate and look for jobs in the field as well.
Great, thank you. So apparently a lot of you are not able to see the video. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to stop the broadcast and try to figure it out. So we will report back with either a different link to try to get you to actually be able to watch the chat live. But yeah, we'll be back in a minute.